You ever notice how fast your mind goes to, it's them, they're the problem, they're difficult, they don't get it. And it feels completely true and justified. But if you slow that moment down just a little, something important is underneath. And most of us don't stay long enough to see it. That moment right here, that's what this podcast is about. Seeing what's here. Welcome. Okay, good morning, Pablo.
Hey, Vanessa, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Really, really good. We
Good.
just finished doing the bike trail yesterday.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
That
Yeah, the
sounded
hot waffle.
like some serious play.
Yes, a lot of play. Absolutely. Yep.
Play and joy.
Yes. And what are we going to talk about today?
Well, what was coming up, I think, just in the recent weeks too, and then based on what we were discussing last week, that concept of battleground of life or the playground of life.
Oh,
Yeah. And I saw this post online recently that said, if it doesn't bring you joy, stop doing it. And at first I was thinking like, oh yeah, that resonates. And then I thought, yeah, but if everybody lived that way.
what would that look like?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's just what I've been ruminating on. And, I definitely do not think that life is this battleground. I think that's an old Christian paradigm that, I can quote Paul that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where you started. And I think that's where, I was raised Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go to church. But my mom was, Catholic or was raised Catholic, and I guess kind of didn't push the God thing, but had it available for us like that. Didn't go to church or anything.
Well, I think too, based off of our conversation last week, feeling alive and living aligned. And you talked a lot about desires and, but the more again that I was considering what you were saying later, the more I was thinking, okay, but if we all just followed our desires, how are we no better than animals, than my cats or my chickens that, is there,
okay.
So, chasing stimulation versus, yes, feeling alive and...
Man, this is really deep. Maybe that's why I'm having trouble. Getting a piece of it.
Yeah, no worries.
Let me just start with this, okay? Because we were talking about work and play,
yes.
Right? Work and play. And yeah, that's really been a problem. People don't like to work en masse. I've never really seen people who enjoy doing menial things like digging or dishwashing or, for the most part, people spend a lot of their time trying to get out of that, any kind of work. But for whatever reason, and maybe that's why I was so angry at that last podcast, because it's like, man, we put work first all the time, and I was curious as to why we did that, because I just had an experience where play showed me that, and then in retrospect, I was like, dude, every time you played, it was actually better. And then all of a sudden your mind got a hold of it and you thought it was mind that was doing it. And it was actually just when you were playing that it was doing the best stuff, but you got in front of yourself again. You made issues there where there shouldn't have been any, and it was from mind. So, but anyway, going back to work and play, because this is really, really deep. This is kind of cornerstone to the way why I'm the way I am, I guess. We talked about this the other morning. What makes a person the way they are? I saw early on that it looked like you were going to have to work. So it's like, okay, work's going to have to happen.
Right.
So
got to make money.
Right. And
need
it
a
looked
career.
like I saw no example of anybody that really got out of it. In all my life and everywhere I looked, everyone was working. So then I said to myself, okay, if I'm going to have to work, why do I have to work someplace that's ugly? Why couldn't I work someplace that's beautiful? Or like, why couldn't I work someplace that, where people play, And so the first idea came to me when I was a meter reader in Fort Worth, and I loved it. That was like my favorite job, walking all over the Metroplex, or actually it was South and North Fort Worth, all over there, and I loved it. I would walk all the time. It put me in meditative states. I loved the job.
Right.
And then Jessica, took me to Florida, or we went with her parents this one summer. And that's when I put it together. It's like, well, we were on the beach and Panama City. And I was like, well, they have meter readers here, you know? So why don't I just come here and read meters and I'll be next to the beach?
Yeah.
So that was the kernel of the idea of like, why are we working so hard to stay in certain places? Like what is it about the place that keeps us there?
Mm-hmm.
So all that work, I mean, that's a lot of work. Let me fast forward to this morning.
Yeah.
Because like I have my cousin visiting from Texas, and we love Chuck Mangione's Feel So Good. And so I put it on this morning to go pick him up, and I was thinking about that song, Feel So Good, and I remember I just got this image. It came to me of when I moved my family to the Caribbean, and I was sitting on the beach. It was like sunset, and I was by myself. Jessica and the boys hadn't gotten there yet, and so I was there by myself. And I just finished, some cheap rum. I think it was, I can't remember, some spiced rum, and then there's this shitty can of beer. It was Amsterdam. It was a blue can. It was really bad, but I was finishing that beer, and I had my iPod on, and I was listening to songs, and Feel So Good came on, and I was there alone. I thought, the beach was kind of secluded, and the sun was going down, and it just overtook me. Something about the song just overcame me, and I just got up, and I just started dancing right there on the beach, all by myself. I didn't give a shit who was watching. And then this Jamaican couple comes out of the thing. They see me, and I make eyes at them, and I'm just like, my first sense is like embarrassment,
Yeah.
right? But their energy was so cool,
Mhm.
and they just looked at me like, yeah, man, just that's the thing to go with, It's the water, it's the waves, it's the feeling. Yeah, it feels so good, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Wow.
And it just changed just like that. Well, not just like that. It took time to understand that, we put a lot of efforting into our lives, thinking that, mind over matter, we're going to make this thing work. But man, the magic that happens if you just get out of the way, So, same thing. We lived in the island for like 5.5 years. It was wonderful. We learned a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about America by not being in America,
Mhm.
and about our families and how we get along with our families,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and loneliness. We learned about loneliness and seclusion and learning to make new friends, everything you have to learn when you go to a new place.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think there was a lot of value in doing things like that because we've moved quite a bit. I think my son counted it one time, and it was like he's been like in 16 or 20 different places,
Yeah.
and that was rough.
Mhm.
That was a sacrifice,
Mhm.
I think at one point he was living with his brother. We made him a bunk bed that he can sleep over his refrigerator in his little small apartment,
Mhm. Mhm.
But these are the sacrifices we make to like live your own life properly, to set it up to where, like, if it is going to be play,
Mhm.
like if you are going to want to set it up that way, then do it. This
Mhm.
is your time
Mhm.
to do it. This is your time in the time space field
Right.
to get that shit done, whatever it is. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think, like in your original thing where you were saying, well, what if everybody just did what they wanted? Well, funny enough, I think if everybody was really connected to source,
Yeah.
not if they were doing it like because their dad told them or their mom told them or their brother, sister, or their friends,
Right.
they get it from like source, and
Yes.
it says, whatever. It's not going to be, well, it may be something like that. Who knows? Everybody needs a villain too, right? So maybe you need to be like stealing cars or whatever, That's could be your
Have
game,
fun.
dude, right? Like that's what you came down here to do.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've heard that as a story, as a theory, but aren't we supposed to be here also to transcend and to grow and expand?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some of us know. I don't
And I
know.
know we're all in different parts of our journey, so
Right. That's the main thing. So like if everybody does do their thing, you
Mhm.
know, I think it's going to look like what it looks like, really. And I think the only thing that'll go away is the suffering,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and what you're describing is an aligned life, like what you were,
Mhm.
referencing last week, that with that alignment. If I am, truly aligned with my higher soul, my higher self, with source, then everything is a flow. And I've gotten myself out of the way. I've removed
Yeah.
those blocks and those
Mhm.
things that have been stuck inside of me to
Mhm.
experience a life of that divine flow. And that's a beautiful thing. And so, maybe that was one of the aspects that I was considering over the week since our last podcast was, oh, if I just go and do whatever I want, then don't people get hurt along the way? You've seen that maybe in,
Yeah. Well, heroin,
relationship betrayals and
like I was talking to Jessica about heroin abuse, you know, like that would be
right.
something where, yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, obviously that's
Mhm.
not a good deal.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's going to just zap your life force and eventually,
Yeah.
you know, could just take it completely away.
Mhm.
But I mean, you know, like if you look at it from the point of view of like everybody came here to do their thing, I mean,
Right.
that might be it, you know, sadly. I think of, you know, well, people that we lost that were really talented that,
Mhm.
you know, succumbed to all kinds of things that they needed for their
Mhm.
so-called survival, you know.
Mhm.
Amy Winehouse and um, Jimi Hendrix, good artists like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, everybody comes down here to do something. I think you have to have that time to do it because you know you're going to make all these mistakes in the beginning because you don't know really what it is that you really want, even, right?
Sure. Well, most people don't
Yeah.
even, at our advanced ages.
Well, I mean, I think that's why we're here talking because
Yeah.
at our age now,
Yeah.
we've seen how we listen to our parents and all the institutions, and they're all broken.
Mhm.
You know, they're all screeching to a halt. Everybody's like, okay, what the hell are we going to do?
Mhm.
It's like, well, I think everybody knows what they need to do, I think. Um, I mean, yeah, you're sure you're going to have hedonists in that mix, right? I
Mhm.
mean, you're going to have to
Mhm.
have them. But along with the hedonists that you have in those mix, you have other people in there that just want to be like good moms,
Mhm. Mhm.
good dads. You know,
Absolutely.
I've maintained that I think Jessica and I just always wanted a simple life, but just wanted to be somewhere where it was, you know, a little prettier than
Mhm.
most American subdivisions, you know.
Mhm.
Life didn't have to be just you know, cut and dry the way people are making it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it's almost like you're signing up for hell
Mhm.
almost
Mhm.
by saying, I want to set my life up like this and it's all by mind. And you didn't
Yes.
let any soul in there at all.
Mhm.
And so then you're stuck
Mhm.
doing all those things by mind.
Right.
And
Right.
you don't have any help with
Right.
that that other piece of you that if you would have just let soul lead you, then you can just get out of the way. Because all
Yeah.
with if you set it up that way, then
Mhm.
you have people there and others and energy
Mhm.
and ancestors to
Mhm.
facilitate
Mhm.
your growth,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, thanks to your wife, Jessica, I've been reading that book by Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul. That's his first book. And I'm completely going to butcher this, but that's what he's describing is, a lot of times most of us all think we have to live life in this certain way. And again, was it given to us by society or TV or whatever, parents?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, life needs to look like this, or
Right.
religious institutions, life needs to look this way, and I need to do these things. And then so I'm forcing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe that's the work that you're talking about
Yeah.
too.
It's
Like,
efforted.
this has to be
Yeah.
this way
Yeah.
instead of being like, I surrender. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. And
Let's
then
get
let's
out of the
do
way.
what's before me. I
Mm-hmm.
love this. It's what he says in the podcast I've been listening to. Just do what's before you with all your heart and soul.
Oh, I love
I
that.
know,
I
right?
love that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I've just been keeping in mind last week. Just do what's right in front of me
Yeah. Yeah.
with
Yeah.
all
So
my heart and
so
soul.
so yeah, when we got on the island, um, that's what it was. We knew it was going to be a daily thing because
Mm-hmm.
that's all life is.
Mm-hmm.
All life is waking up in the morning, having your coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking on the day, whatever that means,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I signed up for a propane company on an island. And so, yeah, we had plenty of things to line up for the day. And then it just made it all more fun, more
Yep.
play.
Yeah.
And I will have to say, I think the ancestors were very key in this, or at least just having them in my mindset. Because I used to think about this a lot here at this house. Because when I look out here, I can see the dam. If you look out the window, you can see the dam. And the dam, I believe, was built by all kinds of different races and nationalities. And I just imagine, some Asian guy just taking a break, sitting back, looking at this land that had no houses on it yet,
Right.
and looking at that land, thinking, "Fuck, man,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could get me a little piece right there." And then what I would do, and I would think, what would that dude do? What would he do? And then that's where I'm coming up with the answer. It's like he's already done the dam building. He's already wished for something more.
Right.
So what would our working class rooted, ancestors, what would they do? That's what I'm asking myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe a lot of us don't even allow ourselves to think that because we have this defined idea of what we should be doing.
Right. Because everybody's afraid for the money aspect of it.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
afraid of like AI and stuff. And it's like, I would suggest to everybody to ignore that. I mean, I can ignore it now because of thankfully my father told me, to try not to get in debt. And I always lived below my means.
Right.
And we always had a plan of having a business of some sort. So we're in a pretty good place where I can take some time and work on this.
Right.
I know not too many other people have that opportunity, but I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't pick up anywhere. I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
when I decided propane, I had nothing. Like, I had nothing really to my name when I decided to do that. And I just thought it was just a good, like, everybody needs propane, right? So it was like mind figuring something out, and also knowing that propane companies can be mostly in countries, like in the country, and then they're in rural areas, so they're away from things. So that was kind of a cool thing to find out too. Like, I knew by choosing propane that a lot of my opportunities would be in places that we would want to live.
Right.
See?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I originally thought too. That's why I
Yes.
chose propane too.
Yes.
Very 3D thinking, very mind thinking,
Yeah.
but eventually it does place you amongst the people, and then that you start to see, will I grow here? Will I grow here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think you keep moving until you find a place that you can do that. You keep
Yeah.
moving on until you do that. And then I think once you really realize what you are and what it is,
Right.
you can look back and say, shit, I never needed to move in the first place.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
Once you realize what you really are.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Because it doesn't matter where you move.
Yeah.
You are still you.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I've thought that too. Although, I mean, with us wanting to move, it was something I think all of our souls needed to do. Mine, my husband's, and my son's. It wasn't based on fear or anything from COVID. It really was a desire to expand, and we couldn't. We felt like we couldn't expand where we were. Could we have, though? Again, consciously. Now I feel like, yeah, I think I could, but
isn't it funny that you needed that, like, move in the 3D world?
Yes.
To feel that?
To work through that. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and yeah, both my son and husband, their lives, and mine too, have flourished, doesn't mean that it wasn't challenging. It was, and it's different ways, but.
Yeah. And it's worth the sacrifice though, right? When you look back, you're like, that's why it's so good now, because we sacrificed for that.
Yeah, but that sounds like work. Like sacrifice.
Well, right, it does, right? But I mean, I don't know. I would have to give my mom and dad so much kudos, because, man, they could make just a regular day of working your ass off so much fun.
Okay.
It could be just as simple as, let's just, rituals, routines, getting started in the morning. And I didn't know that that's what we were doing, but we were worshiping the sun. We get up there with our coffee and we see that sun come up, and we're just all, our eyes are getting whatever, and we're looking at the work, ahead of us, and we're just like, okay, here's what we're going to do today, and
Mm-hmm.
this and that, and then we get on it, and we just do it, and then, yeah, we used to. You remember the chickens we used to do? Oh, yeah. Man, that was so cool. My dad and my uncle Ben, they built a little pit barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
where we lived, and where we lived, it was all clay soil, so
Yeah.
the soil around it was just clay.
Right.
So basically, it was a clay oven. They made a tandoori without even knowing, and they had it down pat. It was somewhere around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. They'd have log split already, but they'd make the fire.
Yeah.
They split a chicken, put it in there, cover it up, and then later that afternoon we'd be
Wow.
eating some
Yeah.
chicken after a
Yeah.
hard day's work. We had an outdoor shower, so
Yeah.
we could all take showers
Nice.
afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So all that work, we knew you had to make play.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing when I drove a propane truck. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to make it drudgery?
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I chose propane was because, well, I didn't like it in the industrial commercial side, but when I went to the country
Mm-hmm.
and started delivering to people, neighbors, they'd come out with like food or
Yeah.
coffee. You want a
Yeah.
drink?
Yeah.
Whatever. Everybody was nice, and it's like, well, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is not work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's work, but it's not work.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Well, you're connecting with humans,
yeah.
in
And so then
meaningful
when I
ways.
saw that I needed to step up, like, you're in your 30s and you've got children, you've got, bills to pay. I was like, well, I can be a manager because I've learned how to do the work and make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't I run a place
Mm-hmm.
and show them how if they put policies or whatever, they can all have fun while they do their regular job,
Right.
Yeah. That was cornerstone because,
Mm-hmm.
people, work sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It
Mm-hmm.
can.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the frame that I'm here for a reason,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I get real focused on what is so important,
Right.
and just get real laser focused on that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with houses, money, cars. It has to do with your soul's journey. That's the
Mm-hmm.
main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you getting through and knowing what you are, finding
Right.
out what you are,
Yeah.
understanding what you are.
Right. Well, yeah, bringing it back to seeing what's here inside of us. It is not the external experiences or things.
Yeah.
It's, if I feel like, well, I need something, why? Why do I feel I need it? Okay, well, I
Mhm.
want to feel, because when I have that thing, I will feel happy.
Correct.
But maybe you will for a little while, and
Mhm.
then you have to pay that car off or a mortgage or
Right.
whatever it is.
Right.
But the happiness, I mean, true happiness is generated within. It is not
Mhm.
from external
Mhm.
experiences or circumstances or people. You think, oh, if I have that perfect companion, then I'll be happy. But are
Mhm.
you really already happy? Because if you're not, they're not going to make you
Correct.
happy. And
Correct. Yeah. You got to make yourself happy first. Yeah. Love yourself first.
yeah, but it all comes back to those unmet needs that we have
Well,
in our lives.
I think that's
And
where you get started because back when I didn't know
Mhm.
anything, it's like all you have are your desires. All you have, like, in the very, very, very beginning, I wanted to be a singer-songwriter,
Mhm.
and so that's where you start. You start
Mhm.
with something like that, but
Yeah.
then you realize, okay, I have to, adjust, change,
Mhm.
adapt, but you
Mhm.
still have dreams, you still
Mhm.
have, aspirations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with those at
Mhm.
all. Just know that, okay, that thing or whatever is not what is going to bring me the happiness. Just
Correct.
if I'm
It's a
happy,
vehicle to get you there.
yes, yeah, it can be.
You following your desire is the vehicle, I think. Mhm.
What desires have actually led you away from yourself or deeper into yourself?
Ooh, that's a
That's
great question.
something that I've been thinking about. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
question.
I don't know. It may not be for right now, but it's just something I've been pondering too.
It's weird, but I mean, don't you learn a lot from your mistakes too? Your
Oh,
failures?
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
When you
For
got it
sure.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, I thought about, how cool it would be to write a hit song and be famous for writing a hit song, and like if that didn't happen, life would be over
Mhm.
type of, mentality. But it wasn't until
Mhm.
I got here
Mhm.
to this this particular house where I was in suffering when Jessica just said, "Don't you have everything you dream for?"
Mhm. Mhm.
And I thought about a particular song that I wrote, how I sing and play those lyrics all the time,
Mhm.
and I see them out this window now,
Mhm.
and I'm just like,
Wow.
I just had to get out of my own way. It
Yeah.
wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the analytical mind. I think that's where all that efforting and the work comes in from us, trying to think our way through life
Instead
and
of play,
yeah,
instead of
get
just
out of the
play,
way and
get
play.
out of your way. Set it up. Set your whole game up
Mhm.
to where your work is play.
Mhm. Mhm.
Jessica does the bookmobile,
Yeah, yeah,
so
right.
that's how playful is that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is.
And yeah, we're doing the podcast, and then hopefully,
Mhm.
Chronicles. Well, I thought about this. I think what Chronicles is,
Mhm.
Chronicles of Pablo, is just, it's my time where I'm helping everything that I've
Uh-huh.
learned from all the different people that touched my
Mhm.
life. I'm now I'm gonna pay back, and like,
Mhm.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to Jess.
Mhm.
Anybody who comes into this circle for this
Mhm.
community,
Mhm.
that's what's gonna happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think the question is, are you actually enjoying your life?
Am I?
And
Am I?
if we're
Yeah.
not, then what are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, right? I mean, how do you know that well, I don't know. Sometimes life is hard. You got to sit through it,
Yes.
right? You have to
Yeah,
suffer
and there,
through
of course,
something.
and there's challenges, and I think again those challenges are opportunities for us.
Oh my God, that's right. We were thinking about the movie Life is Beautiful.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
crap, have you seen
Yes,
that
I
movie?
have. Yeah, it's been a
Oh,
long time, but yeah, I will
yes.
cry when I watch it again.
Yes.
Hmm.
That right
I
there,
know.
that's how you do life. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that,
Make it a
yeah,
game.
I hadn't made that connection to that movie, but it sums it up beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't
Mhm.
even have a choice of work or play. They had to work, and they were
Mhm.
imprisoned.
Mhm.
So it was really a soul's thing that was going on there. And it's like, okay, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Kind of like Viktor Frankl,
Yeah.
man's search
Search
for
for
meaning.
meaning. Mhm.
Yeah, you've got a choice here. What are you going to do?
Mhm.
You can really make this shitty for yourself,
Mhm.
or you can make it a game.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think people then get secretly resentful because they've built their lives around obligation versus
Oh, yeah.
that joy.
Mm.
I mean, I know I have. I speak for myself.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
I mean, isn't that their story? Isn't that
Part of the journey.
part of
Yeah.
their journey? Mm.
Yeah, I don't think life is meant to be a prison sentence.
No.
But I don't think it's endless indulgence either.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean,
Okay.
well, maybe that's it. Maybe it was a measurement of, like, I knew that there was a part of me that I just wanted to party, man.
Mhm.
No doubt.
Mhm.
But I knew that there was a, I had to make choices. Like, I had to
Mhm.
negotiate
Mhm.
because, well, okay, here's a simple one.
Mhm.
Um, I loved weed from the beginning.
Mhm.
I smoked weed when I was 16, and then again when I was with Nick Miles. I'll blow him in. Uh, when I was like in my 20s.
Mhm.
And I remember in my 20s, I was like, I smoked and I was like, oh shit, this shit's
Mhm.
good. I like this.
Mhm.
But then I thought, I'm not going to get fuck all done, dude. I'm not going to get shit done. So I made a deal with myself then. It's so funny. I remember making this deal. I was like, okay, this is really good,
Mhm.
but I can't do this
Mhm.
until I'm way more settled. Like, I need to know
Mhm.
that I'm going to be fine
Okay.
before I can let myself go into whatever area this plant wants to take me.
Mhm.
I got to make sure I'm going to be okay. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I waited until later in
Okay.
life,
Okay.
until I was in the Caribbean, and I
Mhm.
started smoking some then. And again, I had so much guilt about it.
Mhm.
But then, the plant helps you with that. And
Mhm.
over
Mhm.
time, I don't really give it too much,
Right.
whatever. But yeah,
Right.
Now I don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
weed's weed. And it's, at my age now, what I see about, substances is like, if you're using them to escape, that's a problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it makes you a better person,
Hmm.
what's that?
Yeah.
And then there's time and place, like, people shitting all over alcohol, right now. It's like, but wait a minute. You're having a nice dinner.
Yeah.
You just finished the trail. You're
Yep.
cold as hell.
Yeah.
You want a glass of red wine,
Hmm. Hmm.
some dinner with, with
Right.
that. After a long, hard day's work, what do you want?
Yeah.
Cold beer,
Yeah. Hmm.
So these are things that are rituals that are part of play,
Right.
that, obviously I think when you're missing something, you start filling it with more of that stuff, but it's like,
Right.
really what you need is more life stuff.
Right.
Set your game up a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Challenge yourself with something, or I don't know. Again, you're here to play. What did you want to come down here and do? Do you remember?
Right. Right.
What was it?
Hmm.
Have you done it yet?
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and here's the other thing too, because you were talking about the irresponsibility of like if you just follow your desires and stuff. Well, what about the irresponsibility of not following your shadow or integrating the shadow?
Yeah.
Always hiding from the thing
Right.
that you're
Right.
most afraid of.
Yeah.
And so you make everybody's world around you shit because you think that life has to be a certain way because you're afraid of your own shadow.
Right. Right.
So a lot of this moving around, you see yourself in relationships. You've said that to me a lot. You mirror back.
Mirrors. Yeah.
And so, I saw that a lot. I saw that people protect themselves with their identities and how they feel that who they are is
Right.
that identity that they build.
Right. The mask.
The mask. And it's like, that's not really who you are.
Nope.
It's just the mask that you use to get through the world.
Yeah.
So.
Just like these clothes and who I am.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is that people aren't so exhausted from work, but abandoning themselves, and
Oh,
they're,
absolutely.
they've built this life, but abandoned themselves in it. And hence the source of misery.
Yeah.
The building's cracking.
The building agrees.
Yes. All right. Well, the building agrees. I think that's a wrap.
Cool. This was a really good one, Vanessa.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank you a lot.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
And if people want to reach you, Pablo, how do they do that?
You can reach me at info at chroniclesofpablo.com. And if they want to reach you, Vanessa, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm on social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can also reach me at expansivelifesolutions.com. All right. See you next time.
Thanks.
All right. Cheers.